Hey guys, Sable VGC here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Climbing. Today we're just going to finish things off with the whole Kyogre team, and honestly I really want to get Persian some more. Got really good matchups last episode. Obviously got a little bit lucky in the first game, but irrelevant here. We did manage to win both of them, and we're here, and we're going to find another Xerneas. The Xerneas Groudon team, so definitely a team that I really want to be playing against here, because I honestly really like my matchup. So we've got Xerneas, Groudon, Kangaskhan, Tornadus, Incineroar, and Amoonguss from my opponent. And honestly, I think I can just bring a combination of Persian, Metagross, Kyogre, and Ho-Oh to this matchup, and I should be able to win this game no problem. Just a matter of actually finding those pieces and playing them correctly. I think I'm definitely going to lead Persian here. I think I want to lead Persian Metagross. Puts on a lot of pressure immediately with the Fake Out. Also puts on a lot of pressure with the Metagross is just going straight for attack. I also have the option to go for a substitute Fake Out, give me a little bit more positioning in the next turn. I don't think he leads Groudon with a potential Kyogre and a Ho-Oh, so I would imagine something like a Kangaskhan Xerneas might be a lead. Tornadus Xerneas, Tornadus Kang, probably a decent lead. Torn Kang has picked up a lot of usage since the North American International Championships, but obviously well past Worlds. Didn't see too many results at Worlds. I think it saw a little bit. Decent results, nothing too fancy, but we're here and we're actually going to jump right into this one. If I had to guess my opponent's lead, it would probably be Torn Kang, would be my guess. Like I guess Amoonguss Zern could work too. Theoretically, Amoonguss Zern could be decent. But we're gonna wait and see what we get here. We can get challenged by Maloney Chan. I think that's how I say that. I definitely said it wrong. But Kang Torn is gonna indeed be the lead for my opponent, and honestly, I'm very happy with this for me. Persian on the field, which is fantastic. Probably wants to get a Tailwind up, so I'm just gonna Fake Out the Kangaskhan and click Substitute. I don't see a reason not to do that. I don't see a reason he taunts my Metagross here. Persian is the faster of the Fake Outs, so there should be no reason I don't get this off here. And still be in a good position. Like, sometimes you can get this off and be in a bad position. Like, I don't really want to take too much damage with Persian here. I'm going to see what my opponent goes for here. If I do survive this next turn, I am just going to go for the Foul Play Iron Head into the Kangaskhan. That will pick up the Kangaskhan, it'll pick up any switch in except for that Groudon, but it should put the Groudon into Stomping Tantrum range. But I'm also getting ahead of myself. So I guess we just wait and see what our opponent goes for here. Ideal lead for me, Torn probably goes for a Tailwind. If Torn goes for a Tailwind, it doesn't bother me at all because I'm getting a free substitute up. Could also see a Roar from this Kangaskhan next turn to break my substitute, just to get me off the field, get something else on. Could be the case. Persian is going to go for the Fake Out into the Kang. He could also be Inner Focus here, but he's not, and he's going to flinch. Excuse me, we are going to see that Tailwind from the Tornadus. So, Metagross is going to drop that Substitute relatively safely. Actually, probably the safest you can get it. One thing that does scare me, though, is if he kills Persian with Torn. Like, if he just doubles Persian here, I'm a bit nervous about that. But I don't really want to bring in anything else, so I am just going to stay in with Persian. I am going to go for the Foul Play and the Iron Head into the Kangaskhan slot, as I mentioned earlier. Like, he can't just leave Metagross on the field, right? So I do think, to a degree, he will target that Metagross. But you never know. Kangaskhan, this time we're going to Mega. Just make sure my DS is plugged in. There we go. I don't want it to die halfway through the episode, you know? Like, halfway through the episode, I'm about to get this big kill, about to make a big read, and just dies. We're going to see a Z move from the Tornadus here. I would imagine that goes right into Persian and picks up that knockout cleanly. This is where Sash Persian would definitely come in handy here a little bit. Maybe having Persian and Raichu is a bit overkill, and probably just have one of them and just have that be Sash. Probably maybe the right idea there. But either way, this Persian's definitely going to die to this Supersonic Sky Strike here. And we're going to see what this Kangaskhan wants to go for. Could see something like a Bite from this Kangaskhan, which could be a bit annoying. We are going to see the Bite, so if this doesn't break my sub, there's no chance of me flinching, which is great. But I'm not sure if it will break my sub. Super effective, Metagross subs fades. Now there's a chance that I flinch on this second Bite, which is a bit annoying. Hit 2 times, and Metagross does indeed flinch, which is super unfortunate. I'm going to bring in Kyogre. Definitely gives him something to target down here. Don't really just want him targeting Metagross and bullying that, because Metagross right now is my win condition, to a degree. Kyogre is also one of them, and I need to find a way to get rid of Groudon and preserve Kyogre and Ho-Oh. I don't know if I can do that anymore. I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where I would have went wrong there. Like, should I Fake Out Torn turn 1? And say if he goes for Fake Out, it doesn't really matter? Or should I fake out and go for the kill into Torn turn 1? Either way, I am still going to try and win this game here. I do want to protect Kyogre, but at the same time, I think I'm just going to click O-Pulse. If he wants to swap in Groudon, great for him. Don't know if he will. If he swaps in Groudon, then his Hurricane's inaccurate, but if he's going to swap it in, he'll swap it in for the Tornadus. Hopefully he doesn't go for that and I can get this Origin Pulse off, because I feel like he can probably just double into my Kyogre and try to get the knockout too. So we're going to see what we get here. Definitely thinking about it. Part of me wants to Ice Beam, but Torn does just stay in and go for the Hurricane, so happy I went for the Origin Pulse. Hurricane going to connect, obviously, into the Kyogre because it's 100% accurate, and I am going to get confused, so that's going to be a bit annoying. Kangaskhan's going to go for the Double Edge. That's also going to go into the Kyogre here. Confusion might not matter because I might just die. I do survive with 10 HP. Kangaskhan going to take big damage here, and Metagross going to go for the Iron Hit into the Kangaskhan. Can I please get this Origin Pulse? It doesn't even kill, but I do need to get this Origin Pulse off. This is big. Kyogre does get the Origin Pulse off, and it does double connect, which is fantastic. So this should honestly pick up both knockouts. If anything, leave Torn with just a little bit of HP, and it does. That's alright for me. It's alright if you ask me. I'm going to see what my opponent wants to go for here. There's one more turn of Tailwind. Going to definitely be a P-Blades. But I am going to swap Kyogre out. Definitely need to preserve that Pokemon. No doubt in my mind that needs to be preserved. The issue is that I have is he gets Tailwind back up, which is a very big issue for him because I need to find a way to get Kyogre to outspeed his Groudon. Because I don't have Persian anymore to simply just click Foul Play. So it's a bit annoying. If I would have killed that Torn there, I would have definitely been in a really, really good position. Although I'm not out of this game by far. Kyogre is going to swap back out here, as I mentioned, into Ho-Oh, I would believe. Ho-Oh coming in. And the question becomes now is, I should be protecting to stall out this last turn of Trick Room. Or to stall out this last turn of Tailwind. And I don't see a reason not to. Whether he's Eruption, whether he's Earth Power, I need to protect. Because Eruption, Precipice Blades, Fire Punch, all three of the above would kill me. He's actually going to bring in Incineroar, which I'm fine with because it should allow me to get a Tailwind up, hopefully without him getting one up too. And at that point, if that's the case, I will just let Metagross go down. Next turn, I'll let Metagross die, get my Tailwind up, and that should bring in the Kyogre with the kill there. So Ho is going to exert that pressure. I don't think that matters at all. Metagross is going to protect, which makes sense. And what are we going to see Groudon go for here? Groudon is going to go for that Precipice Blade. It's obviously going to go into the Protect of the Metagross and miss the Ho because it does not affect the Ho. But opposing Tailwind is going to go down. I'm going to try and set Tailwind back up here. In fact, I'm not going to bother protecting Metagross. What I am going to do is I am going to go for the Substitute in case I do get that up. If I get the Substitute up and he fakes out Incineroar, that keeps Metagross on the field another turn. Like if he fakes out Ho-Oh here, like if he fakes out Ho-Oh here, then next turn I can still get the Tailwind up and let Metagross die that turn. It just gives me a bit more options. Because I want to get Kyogre on the field with Tailwind support in front of the Incineroar and the Groudon. I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to position that Tornadus back onto the field. I also still need to double connect my Origin Pulses. I feel like he might go for a U-turn here though. Let's see what we get. Incineroar is going to go for that fake out. Is going to go into that Ho-Oh. So Metagross going for the Substitute here. Obviously we're dealing with a physical Groudon, so we'll probably see a Fire Punch, I would imagine. I guess Precipice Blades makes sense in case I do go for that Ogre switch in, which is obviously not what I'm going to go for there. Metagross going to lose the sub there, and that's exactly what I wanted. Now Metagross stays on the field this turn, which forces him to target it one more time. And now I get Tailwind up. The only thing I'm concerned about is if he U-turns with that Incineroar, which is the only thing that concerns me right now. But I am going to get Tailwind up right here. And I am going to go for the... I'll Iron Head. I'll Stomping Tantrum, I guess. Stomping Tantrum does make the most sense. Into that Incineroar. Hopefully he doesn't go for something like that U-turn, and hopefully he just stays in and tries to like knock off our Darkest Lariat the Ho-Oh. That would be the ideal scenario. And then get Kyogre in under Tailwind in order to pick up both knockouts. Because that would be a clean 2 knockouts, and then from that point on I should have the game won. Metagross is going to go for that Stomping Tantrum into the Incineroar. I want to make sure I chip the Incineroar at least to a point where Brave Bird will kill. That Stomping Tantrum did a lot. Groudon's just going to go for the Dragon Claw, so actually not scared of Kyogre at all. Ho is going to get the Tailwind, not scared of Metagross at all, which is a bit, I guess that makes sense. knows I can't really do too much damage, and we're probably going to see a U-turn. We are indeed going to see the U-turn. So at the end of the day, not the worst case scenario, because this turn he's forced to click Tailwind of his own. It's just for a matter of fact that now I got to get Tailwind up again, which is a bit annoying. Tornadus coming in. I'm just going to Iron Head that slot. That'll pick up that knockout, no problem. Let him get that Tailwind up, and then I can start attacking. I kind of need the Brave Bird, but at the same time I don't really want to. Like, I really don't want a Brave Bird at all here. I wonder if Brave Bird and Stomping Tantrum will kill the Groudon. So either way, I'm gonna Sacred Sword. Actually, Brave Bird is a better play. I'm gonna Brave Bird that and Stomping Tantrum the Groudon here. So that should be a decent turn for me. Not the greatest turn in the world, but not a bad turn. Groudon's actually gonna swap out here, which is just fine by me. Tailwind's obviously gonna go up for my opponent's end. Incineroar is obviously going to survive the Stomping Tantrum now that I'm -1, but that's not too bad for me. Maybe he won't go for the tail. Maybe he'll go for the taunt into my Metagross, hoping I sub. I could have subbed here, actually. That would have probably been a pretty good turn to sub. Just keep myself on the field, right? Not let that Groudon swap back in. Metagross is going to go for that Stomping Tantrum. Don't pick up that Incineroar. Probably won't. Yeah, it will not. Are we going to see the berry? We are not going to see a berry from the Incineroar. So Incineroar sitting into red. Obviously, Brave Bird going to pick up the knockout onto the Tornadus here and do, what 5 points of recoil? Not even. Damage by recoil? Yeah, 3 points of recoil, so not too bad. And now things get interesting. Don't know the speed tier of this Kyogre, so I definitely need to prioritize knocking out the Groudon. Definitely need to prioritize knocking out that Groudon here. I wonder if I save Ho-Oh in the back and just sack both of these two Pokemon right now. How many turns of Tailwind do I have? I have 2 left, right? Yeah, so there's no need to protect this turn. So I think I'm just going to Brave Bird, although he could Fake Out, so I will double protect here. I will double protect. I don't really want to see him go for something like that Fake Out. And that'll cost me a lot of damage output, and I don't want that to happen. So next turn I guarantee you get a Stomping Tantrum off into that Groudon. Should be doing roughly 30% at -1, I would imagine. That's just a quick calculation in my head, not sure if that's accurate. But things get interesting here. Metagross is going to protect. It might come down to who's faster with their Primal, and it's probably going to come down to that. And unfortunately, actually, you know what? I'm not the slowest of Kyogre, so there is a chance I'm faster. I do keep forgetting. Normally my Kyogres I like to build a little bit bulkier and a little bit on the slower end, but being a little bit of a faster Kyogre here is not the end of the world. Metagross is going to protect, Metagross is going to protect, and I'm assuming that was just a Precipice Blades. I wasn't really paying too much attention to what was being said on the screen there. But the question becomes, do I bother with Incin? I don't think I bother knocking out the Incineroar. I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird. I'm going to go for the Stomping Tantrum here into this Groudon. And honestly, time to start hoping. The other thing I could have done was substitute with Metagross again. And just keep Metagross on the field, force him to start worrying about that Metagross. I think that's enough HP. 45, 45, 90, yeah. So I would have been able to substitute again there with Metagross. Don't have the greatest of HP stats, but that's alright. Groudon is going to protect here, which I find rather interesting. Probably just kills Metagross, I would imagine. Or is he going to go for like a Dark-type Z-move into Ho-Oh? Ho-Oh's going to Brave Bird. Should kill Metagross here, right? Darkest Lair, he definitely... Okay, so he's just going for the chip damage into the Ho-Oh. That's fine, that makes sense. Which, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm alright with. Ho-Oh gets crit, which is a bit unfortunate. My team's Tailwind is gone. It's a bit unfortunate now that Incineroar is on the field. And I honestly don't know if he's faster than me under Tailwind. He should just go for something like a Precipice Blades Darkest Lariat. Should be his play. I should probably protect stall out this Tailwind now. Stalling out to Tailwind is definitely my best bet on his end, my side of the field here. And then next turn I can kill the Incin. And then play the Groudon game 1v1. Ho-Oh's going to protect as well. The good news is he can't kill Metagross and Ho-Oh at the same time, which is something I really like to see. Which means I could possibly have Metagross on the field a little longer here. Incineroar going to go for that Darkest Lariat into the Ho-Oh. Obviously not going to matter. And opposing team's Tailwind is going to peter out. I'm going to click Tailwind in case he gives me that option and targets the Metagross down, as I Stomping Tantrum the Incineroar here. Incineroar should die no problem. Don't really see a reason why it should survive this. In fact, there's no way. And I don't think, can Stomping Tantrum miss? Like, is Iron Head safer? Groudon's just going to protect, so he's actually just giving me a free Tailwind here, which I find super, super weird. Metagross going for the Stomping Tantrum, going to knock out that Incineroar. Very nice. And at this point, I think it's game over. Tailwind goes back up. I just Brave Bird Stomping Tantrum. In fact, I might Brave Bird sub. In fact, I'm going to Brave Bird sub just because it's a little bit safer in the long run with the Ho-Oh in the back. With the Kyogre in the back, sorry. Brave Bird and sub. Hopefully, ideally here the scenario is Brave Bird just knocks out my Ho-Oh with recoil, and he's just gonna forfeit. So he realizes that one's over with me getting that Tailwind back up. I definitely talked too fast, but me getting that Tailwind back up there definitely won the game. It does come at a bit of a surprise to me that he let me get that Tailwind up. Like Groudon should be outspeeding. Groudon should have gone for a Dragon Claw there if I was playing my opponent's team. Groudon goes for Dragon Claw and just hopes to outspeed my Kyogre in the end game with a P-Blades, and he wins, right? So I mean, I feel like that was his win condition there. I don't know what he was going for with the Protect, but at the end of the day, that's alright. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to take the win, and we're going to jump into another one here. So Ho-Oh actually putting in a decent chunk of work. Looks like the only game we lost right now is that game I misplayed, and of course we did get a little bit lucky with the with that one battle there. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be lucky to be good and good to be lucky. But I definitely don't think I'm good. Hopefully we can get a battle here. Sitting at 10-1, that's actually a decent record. Obviously carried by that 6-0 with the 6-0 run with James Bake's team. But we're going to find Radiant, I think that's it. We are going to find Radiant using a QR team. And we've got Salamence, Kangaskhan, Umbreon, Tapu Lele, Duskmane, and Groudon. And if this does look this to me looks exactly like Hirofumi's team, the second place player at Worlds. I could be wrong on this. There could be a Mon switch up here, but I do believe this is the exact same 6. So, very interesting matchup. Very happy I have a Kyogre on the field right now. Very happy I have a Kyogre. Now the question is, how do I beat Umbreon? How do I beat Groudon? I don't think I can't afford to bring Metagross here because of Umbreon. Unless I just say, don't worry about Raichu, because Raichu's useless, and Amoonguss is also pretty useless. So I can probably get away with Metagross, because it's actually the best of the worst. So, kind of need to bring Metagross here. Obviously, I'm going to have Kyogre on the field. I definitely need to bring Ho-Oh. Definitely going to lead Ho-Oh, actually. Matches a potential Tailwind from the Salamence. If he doesn't bring Salamence in, I get Tailwind, then I get Speed Control. I'm also going to bring Ho-Oh Persian with Kyogre in the back and Metagross. So Parting Shot just allows me to have a good chunk of switches. I'm actually in a pretty good spot right now. I would think, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. This is going to be one of those matchups like where Groudon versus Kyogre. It's just going to be who can preserve their pieces better, I think, and who's going to bring the pieces in at the correct time. So, Radiant here, we're going to see what he gets, and this will be it for the Ho-Oh team. So hopefully I can sneak out another win. Let's see what we get. Don't know what he's going to lead. I honestly don't know. Probably like maybe Kang Lele, but Kang Lele seems really dumb. So Kang Ment. Lele Necro, so he's going with the Psychic Spam. I'm perfectly fine with that. That doesn't bother me too much. Whole Persian's going to come in. Persian's in a bit of a disadvantage right now, if you want to put it that way. I am going to hard swap Persian into that Metagross, just because this is the reason I brought Metagross. So if I can't switch it in at this time, really then there is no time to switch it in. So I'm going to swap in Metagross, and I am going to click Tailwind. I don't know if he had Trick Room. I'm going to Tailwind. If he has Trick Room, good for him. Although, is there really a reason to go for that? When I could just go for something like a Sacred Fire into the Necrozma? That's a bit safer. And I'll swap in Metagross here. Yeah, there's no real reason to go for the fact that he has Trick Room. So I will swap into Metagross here, and I will go for the Sacred Fire into that Necrozma. Honestly, he probably bursts. He does just burst, so the Sacred Fire, not the optimal play, but at the end of the day, not horrible. He could also still Trick Room under burst, right? Like, he could be just a slow burst mod. Sacred Fire should put in a decent range. Lele is going to go for the Moonblast, obviously going into that Persian slot, which is now a Metagross. Not going to do too much damage. Why does that do so much? That's got to be okay, that's a crit. Especially that's got to be a crit. And Necro going for an Earth Power, so either that's just a incredible read, or he just didn't want to go for the Photon Geyser into the Persian to break the sash, right? So, very good play on my opponent's end there. And Sacred Fire going off into Necrozma, not going to get a burn. I am going to get the burn. Alright, nice. Unfortunately, though, we are pretty far behind. Because he still has that Groudon. I'm going to bring in... I guess I got to bring in Persian again. You know what I'll bring in Kyogre. And I'll swap Kyogre into Persian and Tailwind. That might bait what he wants to do. And basically I need to get to a point where I get Groudon in the field with Kyogre and I can get Water Spouts off. I think that's my win condition here, but I don't know if I can actually get to that point. Especially after losing Metagross turn 1 like that. Tailwind is definitely going up for my end here. There's no reason for me to do anything other than that with Ho-Oh. Tailwind is a must-have here. Tailwind's going up, and Persian's coming in. The thing is, I also need to be able to do it without losing Persian. Because if I lose Persian, he'll still have 4 Pokemon. And then he can just easily win the Weather War right back, and that's a problem. Can't have him doing that. Heavy Rain is lifted, Persian's going up. And no clue what my opponent wants to do. Just going to go for that Moonblast, hopefully into the hole, but it won't be into the hole. Oh, it is into the hole. Nice. And I don't know what Necrozma wants to do here. Ho-Oh special attack's going to fall. Literally irrelevant. Is he going to Z-move my Ho-Oh? I gotta block this. Give me a second. Necro block. There we go. Okay. So, you're blocked. I don't know where this is going to go to. Hopefully it goes into the Kyogre and it just doesn't affect Persian. Like, that would make sense to me. But at the same time, he's probably going into Ho-Oh because he knows he needs to damage that. Light that burns the sky. Coming out. And it looks like it's going to connect into something here. So I'm assuming this is going into Ho-Oh. This animation is just so long. But yeah. So it is indeed going into Ho-Oh. I can confirm that now. And the ball of light, I guess you could call it, gonna get launched at this Ho-Oh. And gonna start picking up some damage. Let's see how much this does. Is it physical? Is he physical? Oh, he's burned, so it won't matter. Ho-Oh's gonna die. Wow, that does a lot of damage. And I was saying that I needed to be able to do this without losing Persian, but I guess I needed to do it without losing Ho-Oh as well. So my opponent played really well. I'm not sure if he called that switch in turn 1, as I mentioned before, or just trying to break that stash, which would make sense. Either way, great playing by my opponent here. I'm not too sure if I can actually pull this back. I do have Tailwind up, which is big. But we are going to see that Groudon swap in. I'm 100% positive of that. And if I had to guess where, it would probably be for that Lele. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Ice Beam and Foul Play the Lele. If I can catch the Groudon on the swap in. Although, is there a reason for him to swap it in? I don't see a reason for him to swap it in, but I'm so far behind that that's my only win condition. Yeah, I'm too far behind here. I didn't even get Tailwind up. What am I saying? I've already lost. Didn't even get the Tailwind up. Persian's just going to drop there. And yeah, this one's definitely going to be over. So the incredible run with Ho-Oh is unfortunately going to come to an end. But you know what? I think this team has potential. I mentioned it. I do think there's a decent chunk of potential, decent chunk of synergy. The Sacred Fire in the rain is a bit annoying. I do get another freeze, so this Kyogre is broken. But regardless of that, I do think the Sacred Fire is a bit annoying, but people run Flare Blitz under Incineroar when they have a Kyogre, so it's kind of similar to that. Definitely positionable around that, so I'm not too concerned there. But yeah, honestly, this pace honestly doesn't look too bad. Maybe a bit excessive with the... In fact, I'm just going to forfeit. I'm not going to make you guys watch that, but... Might be a bit excessive with the Raikou and the Persian. Kind of serve very, very similar purposes, so maybe swapping one of those out might actually be the right idea there if I had to go back and do this again. Still stand by Amoonguss. Don't think I brought it at all. Maybe I brought it once, but still stand by Amoonguss. Definitely needed to have that Kyogre switch in. Didn't really need to bring it at all, but that's alright. Decent run with Ho-Oh. I think we went 4-2, I think. Regardless of that, that's going to be it for this one, guys. We are going to be back in the next episode with a brand new team, and I will see you guys next time.